Hey internet, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of the John Graves Show. I'm talking to everybody about backwards compatibility and the wonders of that shit, along with the remaster debacle and how I feel about that. And I personally have no problems with backwards compatibility. As a guy who owns a fuck ton of games and still owns most of my older games, I really have no problems with dealing with backwards compatibility because to me, yeah, I see the novelty behind it. I can see why people do it, and I can see why they still own their older games. I mean, like, I'm not knocking nobody for pretty much doing that shit. But at the same time, though, it's like I'm looking at most of the older games whenever that stuff happens, and pretty much for most of the older games, it's like people over time, people they want to go back and they want to revisit some of their older games, and I'm all for that if they really want to go ahead and do that shit. Which is a cool thing about backwards compatibility. And again, unless you're somebody who never really cared, man, to play most of these older games, or somebody who sells more, who buys games brand new, they sell them and then they don't think about them anymore, then this isn't for you, obviously. But at the same time, backwards compatibility again is another thing of saying, like, give or take with the whole remaster thing. I can see why people do it, because if they don't, then really there's no reason behind the whole thing of most of the games they won't be remastered ever again. They're pretty much like just stuck where they're at. You will never see, or at least I still haven't seen that Onimusha remaster even be talked about, or pretty much most of like the older games that that were really popular, popular, or I never seen them sort of like try and go back and try and like breathe, breathe new life into these older games. However, with that being said, though, I do actually like what they have been doing with the whole like remaster games and everything, where they have been actually trying to put time into those, and they have been trying to bring some life back into those older consoles, and trying man to go ahead and bring all those games back. Because like, well, actually, I'm sort of torn between the remasters, because if it's a collection, something like Kingdom Hearts, Devil May Cry, God of War, I'm all for that, because again, you are putting 3 games or 4 games into this, or more games into this one little bundle, and you are offering it to people who have never played these games, or they have owned these games and then they got rid of them, and then they either sold them pretty much or whatever. I mean, like, things like that, it actually really helps, because it's like, okay, I can see that. But at the same time, though, it's like it's like really thinking about it. I don't see the novelty behind how they do specific remasters now, because God of War 3 remaster, I don't see the novelty behind that. I mean, if anything, that probably should have been just another collection. That, I mean, like, even though they have done the collection plenty of times, I don't see why they couldn't remaster God of War one and 2 along with 3, and then just put them all out there together. Because stuff like that, it does. I mean, like it doesn't seem like it has like a major thing behind it. But at the same time, though, it's like it would work better if it was presented in that type of way. But I am sort of torn on that, though. Not Jesus. But at the same time, though, is that, like, I do look at it and I'm like, well, no, it's not all that bad. Like how some people, like how they love to sort of say like remasters are really great, because remasters sort of have the ability to upgrade the games, add more to them, and add way more story and present way more things. Honestly, for every game that actually does that, for every Dragon Quest 8 on 3DS that fucking does that, you get other games upon PlayStation play up on PlayStation and other things that don't really want to fucking do that, which is really sad. And that's something that I really want to see, but it never really happens for obvious reasons. And to be fair, that's a bit of a sad thing for me, because I'm like, I really want to see older games actually pop up upon like the supposed brand new system or brand new consoles, and I really do want to see them actually like grow and become something brand new. But you will, or at least like I want to see like a new coat of paint be put on these older games. However, again, for every game that does that, you have a few more that don't even want to that pretty much don't even want to attempt to try and actually become better games. They're happy where they're at. And again, that's not a bad thing. But at the same time, though, like I see the benefits of remastering games. I see the benefits of actually not having remastered games. It's not all that bad. But at the same time, though, it's like it's a novelty in which that not a lot of people or a lot of companies actually respect. This was Jesus. Like, if this is confusing as fuck, I'm very sorry about that. I'm playing Evil Within, as you all can see, while also trying to fuck with something else, and it's not going as well as I thought it would. But all in all, though, it's like I really have no problems with remastered games. I really love them a lot. I really have no problems with backwards compatibility in a whole. I mean, like they all have their positives and negatives. However, at the same time, though, is that again, I'm just sort of torn on the two, because really, like, there really doesn't seem to be all that big of a reason to really try and go out and buy the shit. So, or at least like go out and rebuy it, because again, looking at the analogy, if I already owned a game, like let's say like I own Persona 4, right? Which I do. I own Persona 4. If they had released Persona 4 or fuck it, Persona 3, and every time that they re-released it, they didn't add anything to the story. They didn't add any brand new demons. They didn't add any brand new combat, any brand new anything. They sort of just kept it exactly the same, and then they upgraded the frame rate, and then they upgraded the textures and everything. Honestly, I wouldn't say that it's worth the price. Honestly, I wouldn't care what they labeled it as. It's not worth the price in my eyes. I'm very sorry about that. But that is how I sort of see it. Unless it's like unless it's like a meaningful full change, or unless it's like one of those collections, then I'm like, well, this is a waste of money. But I'm tired of dragging on. I know you guys are tired of seeing me fail at fucking Evil Within. But until then, that is all I gotta say about that. Please tell me what you think about this down there in the comment section. I'll catch you guys on the next John Grave Show. And if you like this video, please hit that like button. I'll see you next time. I'm out.